friends, welcome back to episode 21 of the Mile High Club. Rach is not happy with my outfit.
I think you look like a bougie homeless person.
Thank you.
But I'm loving your shawl, loving it.
Thank you. My friend bought me this.
Oh, your friend bought you it? Who bought you that, babe?
Rachael.
Oh, friend.
She loves to buy me loads of nice things.
It's
all
my
the
love.
bangles on my right hand side.
Oh my God, I'm literally kidding you
Bar
out.
one. And now this.
It's my love language.
Baby.
So we've had an interesting morning.
We have.
Haven't we? I mean, first of all, I've been on a wild mystery tour of Manchester.
What do you think?
I love it.
You stayed at my house last night.
Oh my God. So I stayed at Leah's house last night. Can I just say, if you're going to stay at Leah's house, she has the nicest marshmallow bed. I think I had the best sleep. I don't know why I look so tired today because I had the best sleep.
It's because you went into like a really deep sleep.
Oh,
and when you get up, you're like, don't want to.
I got in, it was like,
So good.
like everything just like, oh.
So comfortable.
And it was just like, I had a lovely night. Thanks for popping
You're
up.
so welcome.
I had a lovely night. You didn't have such a nice morning though, did you, Poppet?
No, I started the day horrifically, really.
Not been good for you, has it, darling?
Good, no.
I was laid in bed in your marshmallow and off you
I
went.
sent you a lovely video. I went to the property that I spoke about a couple of weeks ago, and met bailiffs there because they just surgically removed an entire family that haven't paid rent for 2 years, and they left it. It looked like a tip is the only way that I can describe it. I mean, I've never seen as much shit in a garden in my entire life, and the worst part of it is they'd left 2 cats.
Hang on. In the house.
I told you this.
No, I just got the video. Hang on. They left 2 cats in the house.
They were in the garden, like trying to get into the house, and I was thinking, like, what kind of people can leave?
What?
Never mind the state it was left in, or just that they didn't want to pay rent for that amount of time. But what kind of people can leave like 2 animals? So I rang the RSPCA.
You're a good person.
I nearly
brought
them home. I nearly brought them home.
We could have had the cat lady episode where you just stroke the pussies all day long.
Oh, brilliant. This sounds like fun. I nearly brought them home, but it ran away when I got to it. I was about to put it in my car.
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh no, now I'm going to spend the whole day thinking about this poor cat.
Well, if I've got to think about them, so have you. Sorry.
Oh God, I'm not even an animal lover. I don't even have an animal. Never have. Don't think I ever will.
Missing out.
I think I... Right, so that's been our day today.
Yes. But I've got the house back.
You've got your house back.
No.
I've had a tour of Manchester.
Yes.
You're all gifted up and I've had a lovely sleep.
There we go.
I mean, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. Shall we get into it?
Yeah.
I want to interview you.
An episode entirely about me?
Yeah, because we know how much we love to talk about you. So let's talk about you for a whole episode.
Wow. Favourite episode ever?
Let's get deep and dirty.
Oh.
Deep and dirty with Leah Lockett.
I like it.
I love it.
Okay, hit me.
So let's go with the first one. So I want to start at the very beginning. When did you realise that your background corporate dream was actually a cage? Because you come from corporate. This is a complete flip on everything that you were doing, everything that you'd been taught. When did you realise that it was in fact a cage?
I think I'd realised the entire time that I was in there. I used to feel like I was pretending to be somebody else for 9 hours of my entire day. And the more I did that, the more it started to feel like a cage. Like I would literally leave the office and breathe a sigh of relief that I could be actually who I was. And all I was doing was pretending to be this person that fit into that narrative so that I could get a wage at the end of the month. And I didn't realise that not everybody was doing that for a long period of time until I started to get into the world of being entrepreneurial and I met other people that were exactly like me. I realised that there are a lot of people that are completely fine with doing that and they're not pretending. Yeah. And I really, really was acting for my entire life, even through uni and school, to try and fit in and to try and, fit within the mold that was created.
So what was the moment that made you snap and think, right, this isn't for me anymore. I'm leaving. Was there a specific moment that you did the flip?
There were a few that led up to like the big moment. So I think it had been a culmination of like a lot of little things. Or one was like not being able to get my holidays signed off. So I remember we had an abroad wedding booked. It was somebody's abroad wedding. Obviously they booked the wedding in advance on those dates, and I went and tried to get my holiday form signed off, and my boss at the time said, you've got a board meeting on that day, you can't go, can you change the dates? And I was like, of somebody else's wedding? Probably not. Like,
can you imagine? Sorry, I can't.
You're gonna have to move this, guys, it doesn't fit with my schedule.
Nowadays you probably would do that, maybe not back then. Yeah. Nowadays, change the date.
And so that was just before COVID happened, and I remember, like, with me, always a solution and never a problem, saying, well, let me just zoom into the board meeting, like, I'll be there, it's not on the actual day of the wedding, but I do need to be there on that day. And him saying, no, you can't do that, we don't zoom into meetings, it needs to be physically. And that was one of them. And I thought, what difference does it make if I'm on a screen or sat there? Like, I can still respond to the things that you need me to. And so all of these little things just never sat right with me. I was constantly questioning, why does it need to be like this? Because there was no difference in me being on a Zoom or in the room. I could have done my job. And not long after we went into lockdown, when suddenly we were allowed to do all of our meetings on Zoom, there was no problem with us doing that. And the business and the company ran fine, as did my department. So I think, like, a lot of these little tiny things adding up were just edging me closer and closer to going, fuck this. And I'd started the business at this point, and all I could see was two paths. I could see the one where I did all of the things that I wanted to do and became the person that I knew I could be. And I could see that one where I was constantly acting and trying to fit in and questioning things. And the pivotal moment was I made £13 million for my department, 1-3, went in for my pay review, got told I'd done a great job, but we're not doing bonuses. And I was like, pardon? And the pay rise was about 500 quid annually. On top of my salary. It was a pay cut for the amount of time that I was working. And that was the like really defining moment for me, where I was like, fuck that, I'm leaving. And so I spent the next 3 months like really, really grinding in my business so I could get to a position where I could just about cover my bills. And I'd also made the decision to leave my ex-fiance at the time. So I just went through a complete transformation in a short space of time, and everybody thought I was like having a midlife crisis, but I was actually having an awakening of, this is not the life that I want to live. And so I cut the job. I moved out of my house that I half owned into an apartment that had a bed in it and nothing else, with my laptop, and it was just before Christmas, and I quit my job as well. And I remember walking into the apartment that had absolutely nothing in it barring a bed, my laptop, and a bottle of champagne that I'd bought myself, and dancing around the apartment thinking, I'm free. And that was the moment that I decided to be everything that I could have been. And I wasn't in a financial position to be it then, but I just backed myself 1,000,000%.
So you're free, you're in your apartment, you've got your champagne and your bed and your laptop, and you're ready to embark on this new adventure.
Yeah.
But to everybody else on the outside, you've gone from boardrooms to beach clubs.
Yeah.
What was, I mean, you're living the life, but what was everybody else thinking? Now, I know that you're not one to have stuck into a job. We know you're probably, I think we've spoken about this before, haven't we? Where you're like, I would just walk into a job, and if I didn't like it, I would just move and do another one. But this one you stuck with for quite a while.
Yeah.
So what was your family, what was your mum's take on that? Because obviously she's seen you stick with something that you're clearly very good at, and all of a sudden overnight you've gone poof, and you're in this apartment on your own with a laptop and your champagne. You know, what was her reaction to that? She's lost her freaking mind.
Yeah, essentially that was it. And I think the thing with this is, so when I'd stuck at that job and that career and gone and got that degree, it was because I'd been so like erratic with jobs before that. I was like, I've got to fit into this system that they've created at some point. And so I stuck with surveying and real estate and property. And then when I'd made this decision after doing that for so many years and being good at it, my mum had thought that I'd completely lost my mind. And I was the only one that had ever been to uni and got a degree. I was the only one that had ever like climbed this big corporate ladder. Like I was the first to do all of the things. And so everyone in the family was like super proud of me. And for me to then just say, I'm whipping that up, I don't want the degree, I don't want the title, I certainly don't want this job anymore, and say I'm going into network marketing, like heads rolled and fell off their shoulders and continued to do for a while. And my mum said to me, like, you're making a mistake. You've worked all of your life for this career. And I said to my mum, I love you, but you've got no business, and therefore you have no business coming in on my business. And I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. My mum's learned over the years that once I've made a decision, we're just going to leave me to it. And I am going to come out on top eventually. But there was a lot of distress from my mum's angle. The only person that really supported me was my nana.
Oh, we love Nana.
My nana has always just left me to my own devices. I was like a problem teenager in everybody else's eyes, but I was just finding myself and growing through things. And my nana just used to let me do it and always be the voice of reason. So she said, you know what you're doing and you're going to do it well. And I did it.
And I love that. But now your mum is actually your biggest supporter. If anybody follows Leah's mum on Facebook, Leah only has to get out of bed in the morning and her mum posts, Leah's up! Yeah. She's up! She's amazing! She did it! You did it, girl! You're up! Like, seriously.
She's that supportive
She's that
now.
supportive.
She is. So you can, I think, look, you can change people's opinions when you stick on it. But initially, like, she lost her mind with it.
I want to talk about your corporate past. I want to go on to ask you a question that's a little bit, is there anything that secretly still serves you that you learnt from your corporate past? And then I want to switch it over and also flip it. And is there anything that really triggers you still about your corporate past? Because I know with network marketing, a lot of us don't, it's not the first thing we've ever done. And we have done things before. And I think people, but I was doing this and I've changed. Well, you can actually take things into new, like, skills. I've learned many skills in the past that I've brought into different jobs. So something that secretly still serves you and something that secretly still triggers you about your corporate past.
So the thing that secretly, and not even secretly, like loudly serves me is I got sent on a leadership course at my old job. So obviously I'm female is first off. I worked in a very heavily male dominated industry, and I look the way I look, and it was construction based. So I had a lot of things that were not in my favor. And for me to be able to do what I did to the level that I did it at, I was managing a team of men. Now, I have always been bullshit anyway, and so none of this fazed me whatsoever. But as I started to move up to these higher levels where I was in board meetings and stuff, they sent me on a Dale Carnegie course.
What?
So he is the author of How to Win Friends and Influence
People. God, I love that book. That was one of the first books after GoPro. That was one of the, I don't know why I said who then, because one of the first books that I ever read was How to Make Friends and Influence People. It set me off on my network marketing journey. So I know exactly who you're speaking about.
So I didn't know who this was at the time. I wasn't into self-development. Like, I didn't really read. I'd read, obviously, like, books before, but it wasn't something that I was passionate about, and I certainly wasn't looking into like self-development at that time. And when they sent me on this course, my eyes rolled so far into the back of my head. I was like, this is going to be diabolical. And it was 3 days in person, and they literally went through modules. It wasn't a book, it was one of his actual trainers.
It was one of his trainers was training on his...
I think he's passed away, but he'd passed down the way that he trained people this. And I remember going in and thinking, I cannot believe I've got to sit in this room for like 3 days with these people. And I started to get into it. And I was like, now, one of the things that is taught in there is psychology of how to get people to do the things that you want to do, which sounds like manipulation, but actually
influence.
It's influence.
Influence is just manipulation.
It is, with a fancy term on it.
With a heart.
Yeah. I'm doing it for the right reasons. And do you know, the first thing that I realised in that course is I knew everything that they were teaching, and I'd been doing it for a very long time. In order for me to get people of the size of the team that I was working with to do what I needed them to do, I was very great at getting people to think things with their idea, getting them to take initiative for things. And so this was when I really got into like finding psychology interesting, which obviously started me on my network marketing journey. But one of the things there was me doing that course and knowing that if you can crack those things and we can learn these things at any time, I could go on to use this in anything. So me managing a team of thousands now has definitely been helped by having that interest and having that knowledge from there, because after I'd started that course, I started to read into other things and get really into it. So I came with skills that some people don't have. One of them was influence.
What about the trigger?
A trigger for me is, it's not my trigger, but it is my trigger, is when people can't see outside of the box that they're still stuck in. Because I was this person, so I was like, oh, it's one of those things and we just have to get the well-respected job and do the right thing. And the further out of the matrix I have got, and I'm so far out of it now, out of it now, I look on people that are in it and that triggers me in itself, that I know that there's a completely different life, world, set of skills, income, whatever it is you want out there. And if you can just get yourself out of what they've told you and start listening to people that aren't in the matrix, there's anything that you want is on the table. As delusional as you might think it is now, it's not delusional if you do something about it. So it triggers me watching people be stuck.
Do you know what? You saying that just is my life with my husband. It triggers me that he is in the matrix and I'm pulling him out. But it's safe. It's not safe. Yeah. The matrix isn't safe. Actually, I had it with one of my team this morning and they were trying to explain the pyramid. And I was like, yours or mine? Which one? And they're like, no, they said theirs isn't. And I'm like, it's a ladder. It's just a pretty word for a pyramid. And you can't sometimes. So I understand the trigger. I really do understand that trigger. I think that's a very common trigger in all of us that have managed to get out the matrix. For the people that are still in the matrix.
Come with us.
It's so much better than this. I always say it's the analogy of the giraffe and the tortoise. Like, you're a tortoise, you can't see. I'm a giraffe, I can see so much further than you. Just trust me. It's a trust thing, isn't it? So what would corporate Leah say if she could see delusional disruptor Leah? So what do you think the old Leah would say to the new Leah now?
Trust everything you think you know.
Yeah.
Because once you've started to go with it, you're going to learn more than you ever have before. I think I was limited by other people's opinions of what the right way was for too long. The whole get married, buy a house, have a couple of kids to somebody that you can, kind of stand. And that was what life looked like. And get a job that pays you enough to go on 1 or 2 holidays a year. And that always felt like a cage to me. I couldn't even get around to getting married when I was supposed to. So my advice would be, I was like, this is a trap.
It's a trap. It's a contract. It's a contract. It's a contract.
Yeah, I was like, why am I signing paper? I feel like I'm fucking getting into something legal. And so my advice to myself would be just trust your intuition and your gut, because everything that you think you know, you do, and you're going to learn everything and more from it.
So let's talk about confidence, because it's something that you're not lacking in it. You may have noticed Leah Lockett is not lacking in a little confidence. But people talk about it a bit like it's a personality trait, but you've actually stamped it as a strategy, I guess, a branded strategy, I guess. So talk me through Delusional by Design, which is, I guess, your branding is I'm Delulu by Design.
Yeah.
What does that look like kind of day by day? Talk me through the branding of Delulu by Design.
So this is actually a whole framework that I've been working on, which is science backed, because you know me, I love a fact and a figure and some stats.
Loves
So while everything,
a fact and a figure and a stat.
I like to back it up with something with substance. So while the brand is Delulu, is the Solulu until it comes Tralulu, and it all sounds very good.
Hang on. The brand is Delulu.
Is the Solulu.
is the Salulu until it becomes
Cholulu.
Trololo. Freaking
And that's the whole thing, isn't it?
This woman makes nearly $1 million a year. The Delulo for the Salolo and the Trotro.
Backed by science.
Backed by freaking science.
So I remember from a young age saying, like, even with the job thing we was talking about before, I'd quit a job, I'd go in, I'd say that I don't like the vibes, like the guy's a dickhead that works there, and I'd walk out and leave and text my mum like, I'm not working there anymore, I hate it. Oh. Rachel's having...
Hang on a second. Carry on, love.
Rachel's having a technical difficulty with the mic.
Oh no, I've broken the set.
Oh no.
Oh, I actually just broke the set. Sorry, as you were, Leah. What were you saying? Carry on, darling.
So...
We're just having a... Yeah.
We're going to
anyway.
Pause for a little...
We'll just carry on.
A second. Rachel's just ripped a microphone directly off.
No, that's fine.
I don't believe you.
Actually properly broken.
Right, you're going to have to be unbugged. Turn you off.
Somebody's trying to sell me my system back.
No, again.
Can we just cut this bit out?
I actually broke it. I can't remember what you were saying. Delulu by Salulu.
Yeah, we'll just edit this bit out.
That's good. That's rolling.
Huh?
That's good.
I know the next one will be good because structure.
Thank you.
Plug you back in and you'll be ready to go.
Right.
That's alright.
Right. Where were we? Are we back?
Just tidy that up.
Ooh!
Oh, we're back. Sorry.
Right. Ready.
We're back.
Should I just go again where I was?
Yeah.
So from a young age, and going back to what I said before about jobs, where I used to quit if the vibes were off or I didn't like somebody's attitude, I would walk out of the job and tell my mum, I've left that job, I hate it, I'm not staying. And my mum would say, you can't do that. And I'd say, I'll just get another one tomorrow. And my mum would go, you won't just get another job tomorrow. And every time I would get another job when I said I was going to do it. Well, I've got an interview, I'll get it. I've never been for an interview and not got the job. Even when I've been...
Never.
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 Genuinely. Because I go into things with the deep inner knowing that I'm going to come out with the outcome that I want.
Delusional confidence.
Delusional confidence. So let's explain what delusional confidence is. It's irrational belief in yourself before you've got any evidence to back it up. Now, when I've got into network marketing and I've become a coach and a speaker and all of these things, I've really started to look at the way that I'd operated throughout my life and how it had served me. And the one thing that I've always had is this irrational belief that everything will work out. No matter how fucked up the situation is, I'm going to fix it at the end. And so it becomes really difficult for you to fail because I know that I can't fail, no matter how illogical it seems. And when you operate with that level of belief, there are no problems, only solutions, multiple, one after the other. And so as I've started to understand myself more, I've started to try and put this, and I've not tried, I've done, put this into training where you can teach other people to rewire their brains into believing in themselves, which is the first step. The problem that most people have is they've got some form of limiting belief that is a big glass windshield in front of them that they can never get past. Their goals are on the other side. They know where they want to go, but there's some kind of story that they're telling themselves, or there's some kind of energetic lack in the way they feel about themselves and the capabilities, which stops them. I've turned this into an entire framework where I can actually teach people to start to rewire the brain because everything is neuroscience.
Bloody love that. Basically, you can do anything you put your mind to,
You
right?
can.
That's the branding.
You can.
do anything that you
And
put
it's
your mind to.
science backed.
But there has been mistakes, okay? And we're okay with mistakes, and we do talk a lot. We love a mistake. We actually love to fail. I mean, we're not backwards in coming forwards with our mistakes and our, fuck ups in business.
So
but
many.
give me one big mistake that you made, I guess, earlier on, because I think the mistakes we make now are way bigger.
Oh,
But let's go right. I mean,
we fuck up on
we're on a whole
scale
different level now.
today.
We fuck up on such a big scale. If we fuck up, we don't
We
do it in
really
halves.
fuck up.
We really fucked up.
And it's usually in front of like thousands
Of people. Well, let's go back to day dot. What is one mistake that you made early on that you secretly, well, not even secretly, that you actually thank yourself for now?
Do you know, I thank myself for every mistake that I've ever made, ever, no matter how bad they seemed at the time, because I always grew from them. I've changed into a million different versions of myself from the lessons that I've learned. And so I genuinely wouldn't change anything about my past. I'm glad I made all of the mistakes. But if I could give somebody advice in business, they're coming into network marketing, the first thing that I would tell people is not to prejudge somebody else on whether they need this or don't. I lost, probably cost me, I would say, maybe $750,000 to date by not asking somebody that I knew who is now in the business.
That's big amount of money.
It's a lot of money.
Was that one person?
That was one person, yeah.
And they're in the business?
They're in the business and they're not in my leg. And I know them.
It's me.
It's not you. I wish it was you. I don't wish it was you. I'd probably end it if it was you. I'm done.
But it is. There's nothing worse than seeing somebody that you didn't ask do well in somebody else's business.
And do you know why that was, Rach? Because I'd put a limit in belief.
Yeah, because you didn't think they needed
I'd
it.
Put a limit
you
in
didn't
belief
think they wanted
on
it.
somebody else,
Yeah.
not myself. There was none on me. I said they're too busy. They won't do it.
So my next question was going to be, what is the one thing that you teach people that I guess they ignore and they never listen to that they absolutely should? And it is that. I guess you've just answered the next question.
You cannot make a decision for somebody else because you've got no idea what's going on in their life or head. So ask everybody.
So now let's get a bit unhinged.
Woohoo!
What is the most Delulu thing that you have ever told yourself would happen and happened? Go really Delulu. What is the one thing that you've gone out there and gone, I'm going to do it, and you did it, and at the time you're just like, I have no fucking idea how I'm going to do this or where it's coming from, but you were like, absolutely 100% this is going to happen for me. Delusional goals that have come true.
So when I was younger, my grandma went to a psychic, and she's always told me this story.
I love a psychic.
We love a psychic.
We should do a psychic episode.
We'll do that. We'll get someone good on.
God.
We'll get someone good on. Z. We'll get someone on. But my grandma went to a psychic, right? And I was like super young at the time. And I always remember this because it stuck in my brain, and I think it became a bit of a vision for me without knowing how it was going to happen. And she came back and she said, the psychic had said, who's Elle? Like, she's going to be so famous when she's older. She's going to speak on, I can see her speaking on stages, and she's doing this and she's doing that. And I was thinking, oh, she could see me on stage with a microphone. Now, I'm tone deaf, in case anyone's heard me sing before. Like, it sounds like the cat that was abandoned.
What's your favourite song
house.
at the moment?
I've changed it since
If
then.
it makes you happy. Every morning in Vegas, I woke up to Leah Lockett singing, if it makes you happy.
I've changed it since then.
Oh, it's a different song though. That it made me happy, by the way.
I can't stop listening to Olivia Dean at the minute, which is somebody that your children will be listening to, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not that cool.
No, well, I am, but... So... They said
so you're going to be a singer. So in your head, you're going to be a singer.
I was like, I'm going to have to get singing lessons to live out this
Lockett.
fantasy. Like, and I genuinely can't sing, and I was traumatized by the fact that I was going to have to learn how to sing. But I'd always like envisioned myself doing something that was like on stage where I was speaking to people, or I had like a bigger vision for my life, and I didn't really know how that was going to manifest because I couldn't sing. I'm not that good of a dancer. Like, what am I on stage for at this point? I don't understand. So I think subconsciously I've always thought about that in the background, like I meant to do something, I meant to be something. I just didn't know the route that it was going down. And even when I fell into things that happened before this, I was always searching for something more. So I think subconsciously my entire life from childhood, I'd been manifesting what I do now, because when I feel most at home, is when I'm on stage, not on a Zoom. When you've passed me the microphone and I walk out, I've got no fucking idea what I'm going to say. It's not prepared.
Goes.
It's not prepared at all. And every time I leave, I'm like, I just did what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I know that I've manifested that with really no substance. I didn't know it was going to be in network marketing.
So you talk about being on stage and coming off and saying, I've just done what I was meant to do. Was there a pinnacle point when you suddenly realised that your words were bigger than your paycheck? Yeah. And let's talk about that. Let's take a moment to talk to me about when your voice became your brand.
I got a message the other day and I posted it. I might actually cry when I'm saying that.
Oh, have you got it?
I'll
you find it.
I'll try and
love it when
find
people
it.
send messages and we get to read
So she
was
said,
it a gushy message thanking
it
you?
Was so, do you know why it was so powerful? I'm going to find it because I can remember some of the words that the lady said in it. And I get so many of these and you must be inundated with these.
I love it. I absolutely love it when
I'll read it.
Like if you're listening and you think we don't read, we
never stop.
Yeah, just keep sending them because we read them all. We do. We really do.
And this one I opened and replied to because it did move me so much. But she said, I just wanted to pass this on to you as it shows how far your words go. My 11-year-old was listening in today as I had to join boot camp and listen whilst driving her to a junior instructor training, which started at 9. Tonight, she's taught herself how to crochet a scarf. When I asked her how she did it, her reply was, well, I just did what that pretty lady said. It's all about repetition. So I asked her which pretty lady. I thought she'd watched a YouTube tutorial. And she said, it was Leah from the boot camp.
Oh.
And I read that and thought, I've not even known that what I've said that, and I've not even thought it was that profound, to be honest.
I don't think we realise the impact boot camps have on people because we're so in our own little worlds with our laptops, just doing what we do, using our voices. I don't think we stop and take enough, I'm going to say credit for...
how wide it spans,
how powerful words can be. Both ways
they can
both
be detrimental
ways. And and I want to take this onto my next question because we're speaking about branding as a voice and your voice being bigger than your paycheck, but let's talk about building the movements and building the teams. And what's the biggest difference that you would say between managing people and activating people? Because there's the people that we manage and there's the people that we don't, and then there's the people that we have to activate. Let's talk about a difference between the people that we manage. We want people that we can manage, right? Activating is a completely different, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
What is it saying? You can't, it's easier to give birth than to resurrect the dead.
Yeah.
And you can't water dead plants.
Yeah.
You can't pull dead wood. It's heavy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about managing versus activating, because a lot of people, I think, in network marketing,
in management mode and not activation.
Get stuck in the management mode of I'm just going to look after you, I'm just going to look after you, I'm just going to look after you, and they're not actually activating teams.
Do you know what? It's such a hard thing to teach, because if you don't know how to activate yourself, you certainly don't know how to activate somebody else. And again, this gets back into like energy, but the words are powerful and they can be damaging or they can be uplifting. I can say something that makes you feel shit and completely demotivates you, or I can say something that I know you need to hear, which will completely change the way you look at the situation or the problem. So one of the things I had to really learn when I got into network marketing and I started to, grow the way that I did, was that different people receive information very differently. And I am super red. Now, I came into this very red, and management. I'm from corporate. I had that skill already, but in order for me to be able to do what I did, I needed to drop that quite quickly, because that doesn't work here. And so me shouting and barking orders at somebody that's going to cry if I do that, I'm not going to get a result out of them.
Because you've tried it, haven't you, Poppy?
I tried it.
We tried.
And I said, that doesn't work. And the definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And so when that didn't work, I said, right, I need to work out how to communicate with people. And so I went back to books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, Surrounded by Idiots, all of the psychology between the way different people receive different information and how can I activate somebody that doesn't react well to the management situation. So I learn the skills that I needed to be able to activate people, and I make sure that when I talk, whether it's a keynote or whether it's a Zoom or whether it's a coaching call, that I can be talking directly to you and there's 10,000 people in the room, because I'll make sure that I'm hitting every single receptor for different personality types, so that if you're emotional, there was some emotion in there. If you're a fun blue person, I'm going to crack a joke and make you laugh. If you're yellow, then I'm going to give you in a nice rainbow with a furry dressing gown. And if you're red, I'm going to give you facts, figures, stats, money. So it was learning how I could get my point across and activate people without just barking orders. And that's a skill that anyone can learn at any point.
Yeah, it's like I always say to my team, you get 3 versions of me.
Yep.
You get, friendship Rachael. That's the fluffy one. I'm going to tell you everything is lovely and keep, yay. And then you get mentor me, where I'm going to teach you the fundamentals and the skills. Yeah. And then you get coach me. Yeah. Coach me is brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. I'm going to tell you things that you're not going to hear. I'm going to pull that mirror up in front of you. So it's that, isn't it? It's about learning the different, we speak a lot about the languages and so no, I love that. So talking about that, leadership, red flags. I don't know if we've covered red flags before, but if you had to design a red flag test, okay, for new leaders, what would the top 3 red flags be in leadership? Freaking ego. Freaking ego. Do you know how many egos kill businesses?
Yeah.
You see it all over, not just in our business, in every single business. I'm like, that business is going down because that ego is coming up.
Yeah. Exactly that.
So one thing our leader, our CEO always says about us.
We don't have one.
We don't have an ego.
No. We don't. Anyway.
I think people that don't know, do we have an ego? That's a question. Answers on a postcard.
I don't think.
I think we have.
Listen,
we've
got posture. A brand and posture. It's part of my
people,
brand.
It's people getting ego mixed with posture. We very much have posture. We both very much have brands, personal brands, team brands. But do we have an ego? No, I'm not that bothered. I can sit and let somebody else come up. We had this conversation at dinner last night. We went out for it was a lovely meal last night, wasn't it? And we had this conversation about ego. So the first one would be ego. Yeah?
And listen, ego, I'll tell you why we don't have ego. I will go and sit down at a table and take more notes than everybody else, because I don't think I know everything. I'm still learning and I'm still improving, and I don't need to be the first, and I don't need to. I do like to be the best, but I get there are situations where I'm not always going to be number one, and that's okay, as long as and I've said it before and I'll say it again, as long as I'm progressing and I am competitive. But it is only ever me versus me. It's never me versus you, me versus them. I've got a competitive edge to me, but it's me versus me on that.
That's why this works.
It works
a lot of people go, I don't get you two, I don't understand
we should be in competition.
We should be in competition. And we're like, but no, we're growing with each other on our own journeys. And accountability and all of that,
picking up the bits that the other one's not got and adding. It's like a full circle thing.
I guess if we had egos, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. We wouldn't be able to sit here right now. So ego is a massive one. Any more red flags in leadership?
The other one is like just trying to reinvent the wheel and thinking that there's another way other than the one that I'm giving you. And my response to always this is, earn what I earn in the time that I did it, and then we'll try your way. Because nobody's done it this quick, So when you do that, show me that you can do that. Get to 6 figures in 11 months, and then we'll talk.
Love that.
No, and they can't.
It's like setting them. It's like setting the newbies an assignment. You're setting your leadership an assignment.
You want to do that. You show me that, because I did that on a wing and a prayer.
Yeah.
And now there's a blueprint to it, which means that if you just follow the blueprint, I've took all the shit out that didn't work. You can half it if you're as confident as you've said you are.
And a last red flag.
A last red flag is not doing the work that they're fucking barking at other people.
I was going to say exactly that. The dictatorship from the top.
Hate it.
Did you do it?
Nothing that winds me up more than my team aren't doing anything. What are you doing, please? Because I can't see you doing anything.
I'm doing a Going for Gold boot camp. Okay, did you go for gold in that
go
boot camp?
gold?
Oh no. What? Why the fuck are you doing a Going for Gold boot camp if you can't go for gold in the boot camp? What are you teaching?
That is honestly,
you can't teach
such a
something
big
you're
one.
not doing. That is my biggest beef. I knew you were going to say that as the last one.
Had to.
It's my freaking biggest beef. Like, at convention, people are like rolling their eyes, like, wow, Rachael and Leah are up on stage getting all the awards for like, I'm like, well, yeah, because if we're teaching you how to get an award, we've got to get the freaking award too, because then nobody's going to listen to us if we don't. Can you imagine? Like, yeah, so Rachael and Leah were teaching us how to get these awards. Did they get them?
Any?
No, they didn't make it.
No. They were too busy teaching us to get the awards.
teaching us how to do it. And you know what? The biggest way to fail in business, because you're going to duplicate that. And I say to my team, if you're duplicating, just telling, you've suddenly got a gold member at the bottom who's just started, who thinks they're a manager, who thinks they just, I've done it. I've got 9 people in the business. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to tell people how to do it now. And they do nothing and everything. When they say, why did my business slow down? I went, because you started telling people what to do instead of actually showing them what to do.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So that would, do you know what? I would agree with every single one of those. I want to talk about emotion. Not that you have any, but
do you know what?
You've gone soft.
You've
melted the ice queen.
I'm so melted.
I remember the first day I came into a room. I thought, well, I was like, holy shit. We talked about this on another podcast, didn't we?
We did.
She was with her Hermes and her matcher, and I was like, fucking hell. And I was like, I've got to beat this, and I've got either beat this energy, or I've got like, match this energy. And I was like, deep breath. I see. I would. First impressions count. My first impressions of you, well, she's a little icy. She's a little icy. And now look at you like a big soft bunny rabbit.
I know, I've changed dramatically.
You've freaking changed. It's been a journey.
It has.
But you know what? I've loved it. So I wanted to talk to you. I was going to ask you the question, what's the most emotionally expensive lesson you've ever learned in leadership? Was it being really icy at the beginning?
Do you know what I think it was? I think it was also like being actually authentic. One of the things that I had done in corporate was like I was acting to fit in, and the reality is I don't really fit in anywhere because I'm not really like,
you fit in here.
Yeah, we fit in our own world that we've made, because we created a place that we did fit in, but for a long time I didn't. And so I was very, logical, emotionless in business and decisions. I think it started leaking into my life at some point.
Yeah.
And I think coming into this business and this industry, one of the things that I teach now is I'm authentically, unapologetically me. I don't care if you like it. There's nothing that you could write about me on the internet that would affect my day in any way, shape or form.
Nothing.
Ever.
Never.
I think being authentic and actually knowing that I'm not really like that. I used to say I didn't cry, and I didn't for a long time. But the business and the people and the impact and the purpose, actually I found a really nice balance between the two, where I've got out of my masculine energy when I need to, and I can rest into my feminine now. And that's been such a nice journey for me to go on, because I didn't know that I had that emotional range. I used to have the emotional range of a teaspoon.
But you're quite,
and now I can
spectrum.
So many things happening.
Spectrum of
I can feel love. I can cry. I'm like,
she's got it all.
I'm not dead inside.
Send that girl to acting school. She's got it all.
I'm not dead inside.
You're not. You're just juicy
so
and
nice.
yummy. Juicy.
Full of all the emotions.
Look, it's all full of the juicy emotions.
So it's been a nice personal development journey for me.
I like this Leah Lockett.
Me too.
This is my favourite version of Leah Lockett. You talk a lot about separation season.
Yes.
Okay. So what season are you, I guess, personally in right now? First of all, explain to our listeners what you mean by separation season.
Separation.
And then let's talk about what season are we in?
I'm always in separation season, but separation season is the minute where you say, I've made a decision and I'm fucking getting away from anything that doesn't serve me.
Okay.
So I'm going to separate myself from the pack. I'm going to separate myself from my doubts, and I'm going to move forward to the life that I want, however that looks. So it's about asking myself all the time, like, is this aligned with where I'm going? Is this in line with my goals? Is this taking me backwards or forwards to things that I've said that I want? And it's really separating yourself from making the wrong decision and the right decision. version. So it's thinking about, how does your day look? Is it moving you forward or is it taking you back? And separation season often for me is from myself as well, separating myself from the version that I was. Like, how can I improve my body? How can I improve my health? How can I improve my finances? So I'm constantly separating from where I was so that I move forward into this progression that I keep talking about.
And you really are in your fit girl era,
I
aren't you?
am.
She makes me, honestly, there's this thing in the morning. She wakes me up in the morning and goes, I've done 5K.
And I've drunk a matcha.
And I've drunk a matcha.
And it was raining.
And I'm like, fuck. And because she knows I'm going to go, okay, and now I've got to get up and do 5K. And I won't drink a matcha because it sends my tummy funny. But I'll drink a cup of PG tips. I'll do a PG fucking tips. That will do. And you really have, I think, I'm a little bit in awe of the balance that you've created right now.
Nice.
Because it does look like you have everything.
It feels nice.
And I can see that it feels nice and it looks nice. For me, you're living the life that people dream of.
Yeah,
You've got the travel, you've got the freedom, you've got the legacy. But is there a cost that comes with it?
Yeah.
The bit that we don't talk about always is that we have everything we've ever wanted. But what was actually the cost of that? I'm not going to say is the cost, because I don't feel like, I think me and you both now in the position where we have the option not for it to cost us anymore, which is what the goal is, right? That's the option and the freedom. But there was a cost, right? You didn't just get here.
No.
What was the cost? And one of the biggest costs, I think, was a relationship, right? So but let's talk about a couple of the costs because I don't think people understand you've got to lose to gain.
You have to lose everything to become a new version of yourself, and to get the level of balance and like fulfillment that I have now. It required sacrifice of all areas. So there was a point, and we call it the jet set, it's probably like 2 stone, where I put 2 stone on.
Did you know? Yeah, you know why they call it the Dubai stone? Did I talk about the Dubai stone?
About this one.
Oh, I thought it was like a
landmark.
And it was a landmark.
She's like, where is it? It's on my arm.
When you have you spoken about the Dubai stone? It's like the jet set formula stone.
Yeah.
And I was like, is it a landmark? I've not seen it. Where is it? I thought it was an actual landmark.
Mine was like 2. Like I sacrificed balance. I sacrificed my body. I sacrificed, making myself the type of food that I would eat now, because I needed to do what I did in a short space of time so that I could get this. And again, that's about separating where you are then so that you can see where you're going in the future. That the scales had to tip, both physically and metaphorically. I nearly broke them when I put 2 stone on. But as I got to the income level that I wanted to, I started to tip the scales back into that balance. So I sacrificed everything but I didn't sacrifice anything that I wouldn't leave behind again, is the point. And I think people will say, well, you sacrifice relationships. I was never supposed to be in that relationship. The relationship that's coming for me and when I'm in one will be the relationship that I should have always been in, but it wasn't at that time of my life. So I've been through these processes of what I want and what I don't want. And when I meet somebody, I will, and it becomes something, it will be because that is everything that is aligned with me and where I'm going. And so nothing that I've ever lost is a loss. Except the 2 stone, I'm glad I lost. Thank God.
So I always think that people look at us like you used to look at your teacher at school. Did you ever go into Asda's? I don't know if you have Asda. You have Asda, right? So did you? I don't think they have.
I go to M&S now. I don't know.
Did you ever go into Asda and see your teacher on the weekend and go, oh, she shops? And think it was really weird that your school teacher had a life.
Oh my God, they're a real person outside of the classroom.
She's got a child.
Yeah.
She's with a man. She's got
been
a
having
husband.
Sex in her free time. Oh my God.
You're trying to get your head around that your teacher had a life outside of work. And I feel like people sometimes look at us and you and think, what does she do? Like, so we all know business Leah Lockett.
Yeah.
I mean, I know other Leah Lockett. Yeah. Let's talk about what does outside of business Leah Lockett.
Do you know what?
Like?
I'm such when I'm at home, I'm such a homebody. I love nothing more.
Fairy lights and furs, isn't it? I was like, there's fairy lights in this house and there's fur.
I love being at home. I love being cozy. I love doing skincare. Having a routine makes me so happy. But I think it's because it's such a stark contrast to what the majority of my life looks like, which is living out of suitcases, on and off a plane, on and off a stage, here, there and everywhere, flying through 3 different time zones at once, and then having to adjust like on the way back before you do it all again. So the non-Leah Lockett teacher version that everyone sees on Instagram and the actual Leah Lockett are 2 completely different humans. I am one extreme to the other. I'm either PJs, furry robes and fairy lights, or I'm stage sequins and full glam, and there's just no middle ground.
So talking about stage and sequins, let's finish with this question.
Yes.
If your life was a movie, I mean, it is a movie. Do you?
Yeah.
If your life was a movie, what's the title? Who is going to play you? And what's the closing line of the film?
Title:
Yeah.
The Disruptor's Handbook.
Ooh.
Played by Angelina Jolie.
Why, of course.
Of course, because I feel like she's like
I
mysterious.
feel like yeah.
And how it would end.
How would it end?
Would be. It would end with.
I want to say everybody would skip off into the sunset, but I feel like you'd have a more dramatic close.
In my life, it would end with. Do the fucking thing, take the fucking risk, and be everything you've ever dreamed of.
Leah, I've absolutely loved
Oh,
this. I want to do it again.
Me too.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. And come back next week when Leah will be interviewing me.
Yay!
Tables turned.
Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.